Man, welcome back in the pocket. Happy Thanksgiving to each and every one of you guys. Hopefully, everyone was traveling safely, got the opportunity to hang out with family and friends, eat enough turkey. But now, it's back to the grind again with your boy, the main man, and one and only Coach Tony. And this is the Pull Up Podcast Show. And tonight, we got to do that. I got my girl Val sitting in the studio with me. We're going to bring you guys up on a few things. But before we talk about what the show is going to focus on tonight, Val, you know what to do. Drop it.
It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up. Bounce the voice and Coach Tony, you know. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Show. I said bounce the voice and Coach Tony, you know. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Show. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the
Man, welcome back to the Pull Up Podcast Show with your boy, the main man, the one and only Coach Tony. Do a couple of things for me. Make sure, one, you like the show, share with your friends, subscribe to the show, and have some fun. If you have any questions, make sure you put it in the tagline. Got a lot of discussions tonight. We're going to talk about college NCAA football and the new playoff system. Then my girl, Juju Watkins, who's just killing right now, ridiculously. And the NFL playoff picture and what it looked like. And then, oh, my God, I don't even want to talk about the last topic. Well, we'll bring you up on that. But welcome to episode 210, season 2 of the Pull Up Podcast Show. Bring my girl Val the voice out with us as we kick this show off, and looking forward to, it's Val, I can't believe it's already Thanksgiving and we heading into Christmas already, girl.
Yeah, these are the things that happen when the year 2024 decides it's going to just go real quickly without our permission.
Oh my God. I remember we just launched the show, and now we're sitting at Christmas and coming up on an anniversary.
Yeah, and you're coming up on the first year anniversary of the Pull Up Podcast Show. You released this year on January 22nd, 2024. So next year around that time, that'll be your annual year, and that'll be fun. That'll be fun.
We'll probably have a party. We'll probably have a party, bring a DJ in that night, throw some confetti up, just kick. You know what we do.
That's what we do, and that's what we definitely do. And so, yeah, I'm excited for what is happening, and definitely the good stuff. So, congratulations! Like it's coming, and of course, I want to make sure that I do this because I forgot to do this earlier. It's the first quarter.
Oh yeah, welcome back to the Pull Up Pod. I love that. I like that buzzer. Let you know, Harold, get the shot off. Time is going to expire. Did you have a good Thanksgiving, by the way? You have some good food and do some things with family?
I did. I was on the phone with family. That's what I ended up doing. And I did some wonderful stuff with some friends. I got a chance to, I traveled local. I hung out with my girl, Princess, who I hope is watching. I told her she's the one who was really adamant about our last topic that we're going to talk about. She is a diehard, Bears fan.
Yeah, I hope she's on tonight.
Yeah, so hopefully she's on tonight. But I definitely am very happy that I got a chance to spend time with her. Our mutual friend got a new dog. Its name is Bella. It's a beautiful dog, and I'll show all those pictures and stuff on tomorrow with Interlude Extra Talk on Tuesday. But yeah, it was really a good time, and like I said, I had a good Thanksgiving. I'm stuffed. I didn't eat a lot, and I think it's the first time I did not do plates. Took them away from where I ate and had plates. Like all the food was eaten and accounted for.
Oh man, tomorrow I'm gonna show you my pictures and whatnot. What I did at Bird in the Oven. Shock a few folks. Oh, my main man, my little brother in here tonight. Shouting out down in that dirty in St. Louis. That's my boy right there, Johnny Pratt. Welcome to the show. And I know you got something to say about these topics, so don't be shy. I already know you're gonna say something. But what I got an opportunity to do over the weekend, Val, is catch up with our first quarter major topic, and that is college football. Oh my God. We had some doozy. We had some college football games on this weekend that was absolutely phenomenal. And now we have the conference championship weekend that's about to come up in the Mountain West. As you can see, UNLV and Boise State's going to play. In the Big 12, we got surprising. Go back to that picture, Val. Don't switch it on me. Don't switch it on me. Go back. Surprisingly, in the Big 12, we've got Iowa State getting ready to play Arizona. Now, this is a surprise for most people because no one assumed Arizona, coming from the Pac-12, jumping into the Big 12, one, was going to make it to the championship game, and two, Iowa State was outside. Both of these teams are ranked under the top 12, top 15, which is strangely enough for the playoffs. And then we got Georgia and Texas, a rematch game in the SEC, this time for a championship and an opportunity for a top 4 bid in the playoffs. And then the people who missed, that I want to just drive through all of that snow. My Buckeyes lost, and they gave it back to Penn State, and those Oregon Ducks, who also just jumped in, is in there. And then we close it out with the ACC with Clemson getting ready to play SMU. So I am excited, Val, because this playoff picture, and everyone's been talking about it, this is a first-time playoff picture. And what you're looking at, the current top 10 right now, is going to change because the Buckeyes lost to Michigan this weekend, but everybody else won. So Oregon's going to remain number 1. Texas will probably move up to the number 2 line. Penn State will move up to number 3. Georgia move up to number 4. I think Notre Dame moved up to number 5. Tennessee moved to 6. So the Buckeyes are going to drop all the way down to possibly like number 7, which is very difficult for them. But the new playoff system, Val, everyone's been moaning and groaning about the last 15, 20 years that the old system was in play. It catered to the SEC. Every year to Alabama, every year to Auburn, every year to LSU. Now we have a true system that's almost like basketball, Val, in the fact of the matter that you have the top 4 teams who win in the college conference championship games in the Power 5 will represent the number 1, the number 2, number 3, and the number 4 place. And then everyone else will kind of fall in play. I don't know if you're familiar with the system. Have you kind of looked at that?
I did. And I was looking at just kind of the shifts, like it was 15 teams that would be competing, and now it's dropped to 12. Is that how it works?
Well, before it was 4 teams competing. The top 4 teams in the nation went on, and then the fans were all upset because there had been several years like University of Central Florida, South Florida was playing undefeated. A couple other schools had great years, and they never was recognized. Last year, Florida went undefeated for the most part, and they weren't able to do it. And when they did get to a big game, they got blown out. But I don't think that mentally they were there, and a couple of kids had already declared for the draft. So it really wasn't a fair football game. So this year, we finally get the quote-unquote, the projected, almost like a Sweet 16, but it's the Elite 12. And the difference, Val, is going to be the only teams playing for the big trophy will be if you make it to the Final 4. So these first 2 rounds, you win or go home. You got to win or you go home, period. There's no bowl games, none of that. That's the big change.
Wow. I just didn't see that. And here's the thing. The coaching staff with Ohio State, with them moving to 7, will they have a chance to try to come back to the top 5? Because this is not the end of the season, or are things wrapping up? Because I feel like the bowls are coming as we get toward the end of the year. The bowls.
Yep, the bowls are coming. And again, it won't hurt them, Val, because as long as they drop, but they remain in the top 12. The only thing that matters for the national championship are the top 12. So they'll drop, but they'll remain in the top 12. They won't play for a Big Ten championship because it will be played next weekend with Oregon Ducks and the Penn State Nittany Lions. They'll play for that championship game, but the Buckeyes still have an opportunity. But now, Val, you cannot lose. If you lose, you go home.
Can't play around with that. So I totally get that. And hopefully, like I said, the coaching staff as well as the players, which to me is a lot of pressure on the college guys, but they know what they're doing, and the coaching staff knows what they're doing as well with all of these wonderful teams. And of course, we got Michigan State coming in at number 1. How long have they been floating? I always thought it was UConn, but maybe I'm thinking basketball.
No, you're thinking basketball. Because Michigan State is nowhere near this. Yeah, the number 1 team in the nation is Oregon, the Ducks right now, the Oregon Ducks. And they just came into the Big Ten. And if you got that football playoff picture of the predicted projection you just had up a moment ago, it shows pretty much the Ducks are going to probably be a number 1 overall seed. And they've got the playoff picture. There's a playoff tree that show the potential games. I'm waiting because the potential game that we got, which I keep screaming down here and I cannot wait, is the Ohio State Buckeyes look like they may be playing, leave it right there. Ohio State Buckeyes may be playing the Tennessee Volunteers. So I cannot wait to have that particular game. And then I'm telling everybody, for promotional purposes only, you better watch out for 2 underdogs that no one's talking about. And that's 1, SMU out of Texas, and 2, Notre Dame. No one's talking about SMU, and no one's talking about those Fighting Irish. But Val, they're playing well. Derek Reed, my boy. Yeah, keep that right there, Val. Don't move that picture. Reed, thanks for checking in, baby. He said, Val, he liked that you're thinking about Michigan State. He's a Michigan State guy. This ain't basketball. Hey, I'm still schooling, Val Reed. This ain't basketball, it's football. So, so for those that want to put a little FanDuel MGM, I'm about to give you Coach Tony promotional picks right now. So, drum roll. In the Tennessee-Ohio State game, to move on to play against Oregon, I'm going to have to pick my Buckeyes. I think Tennessee goes on the road, Val, to Columbus, Ohio next weekend. They just got 18 inches of snow, and they're going to probably get about another 5 or 6 more inches before next week. And the weather's going to probably stay somewhere between mid-20s to low 30s. And I don't think that the Volunteers are ready to play in that type of weather. I love UT, but I just don't think they're going to be ready to play that type of weather. I got the Buckeyes in that game by at least 5 points to win that game. Finupi, my brother in the house. Yo, baby, yo. My ship in the house, brother Leon Moore. What's good with you, man? I want to know what you guys are thinking, what I'm telling you. The second game, Val, is them Miami Hurricanes against the number 1 Texas. And the playoff pictures, to me, they're assuming that Georgia is going to beat Texas in this SEC championship game. I think Texas is going to win again, and I think Georgia is going to have to play Miami, and I think they will move on to that second round. And then I think that Notre Dame, again, will play Iowa State. I think the Cyclones are probably going to beat the Sun Devil, even though Arizona State's playing pretty good. And then, even though I love my Indiana Hoosiers, that's where Kappa Alpha Psi was originated on the campus of Indiana, 1911, with them 10 illustrious brothers of K.A. Psi. But I think them Nittany Lions are going to beat them, Val, and I think they'll move on. National championship game, I have the Oregon Ducks in the national championship game playing against, believe it or not, Notre Dame.
The Oregon Ducks? That's their that's their mascot? Oh my goodness.
The mascot, hey, quack, quack. Oh, hey, shucky ducky quack, quack. You remember that?
I do. Oh my goodness. So let me bring up the Ducks. This is the Ducks right here. Is this them? Oh my gosh. I thought I grabbed a picture of them. Where are they? There they are. Is this the Ducks?
Yeah, and they got them duck outfits on right there. But let me tell you something, Val. You can laugh if you want. They are the #1 sponsor school by guess what brand?
Adidas?
Nope. Nike. That's Nike's headquarters. So they wear the most expensive brand of everything. They have a program up in Oregon, there at the university, that Nike wear tests everything with Oregon before they release it to the US. So if I'm a Duck, I'm loving it because I get all the Nike that I could chew. I probably get Nike gear that you never seen, Val, as a customer or client. You know what I mean?
Because Nike's headquarters is by the Ducks.
Yeah. Hey, and Reed down in Dallas, so he said SMU will shock the football world. Watch what we're about. Okay, I like that. He said they big as, and let me tell you something, Reed. I like them SMU. I love SMU, but I think if they get on that side of the house, I think having to go through Texas, having to go through Penn State, having to go through Notre Dame, I think that's a tough road for them. And I don't know if they can weather that storm. They may get one of them victories, but I don't know if they can pick off 3. So that's why I got them SMU going out early. But we're gonna come back on the other side. Val, let's get out this first quarter. We're gonna finish this topic in a minute, and let's pay a couple bills. We'll be right back on the Pull Up Podcast show.
Are you a small business owner looking to grow? Introducing the KeySpot mobile app. I'm Cynthia McAllister, owner of the IT company Quality SAP. Since 2016, we have been supporting small businesses and help them promote and share their businesses, services, and events across the country. KeySpot is more than just an app. We are a network providing community. KeySpot, connecting communities and supporting small businesses.
Welcome back. It's the second quarter of the Pull Up Podcast show. And of course, Coach Tony, he went to go ahead and get a cool drink for his voice, but he is back now. Hey, Coach.
Yes. You know I had to go ahead.
The first break is the shortest break.
I know I had to put the voice on tap, though. So here we go. Kate Springer, thanks for checking in, my man. So Reed down in Texas, I like that because he's a Dallas guy. So of course he's gonna say SMU down there, Val. Pratt, I don't know what you were talking about, what you're thinking, but I want to know, who do you guys have in the college football Final Four, and who you have in the championship game, and who is your overall national champion? I'm calling the Oregon Ducks the national champs football.
Why?
Well, Val, they come in the Big Ten, the toughest conference in the country. They've beaten 3 of the toughest teams in the top 10, and now they're playing for the Big Ten championship in the best conference. It's kind of like what the SEC did years ago when they dominated. And I think those boys, they're going to come in here quack, quack. They're going to come in flying. They're going to be sporting them brand new Nike shoes. Watch what I'm telling you. They're going to have some sweet Nike gear on. If you don't do anything else, watch that Nike gear they're going to be wearing these next couple of weeks.
I think they're being encouraged to play well because they're going to be getting Nike stuff. But I'm assuming it's because of their coach and because they have a very talented offense team. Like what makes them so special besides Nike?
Well, they're prepared. They got a high-powered offense, solid quarterback. They run up-tempo West Coast style offense, so they like to hike the ball pretty quick, keep the defense off balance. They'll run the ball. They balance on both sides of the house. And they can play great defense. And again, weather doesn't bother them at all. They'll come from Oregon out of the bad weather, and they'll come down to Indianapolis this weekend, play the Big Ten championship game against Penn State, and then they'll be ready. The next game that they play after that will be in the Final Four. So they'll get 2 weeks of rest. So you got the best team in the country, and then you give them 2 weeks to rest their bones. So they won't play for the next couple of weeks, and then the next game that they play will be a bowl game. So that is huge.
And Derek says that SMU, Oregon, Texas, and Georgia are the top 4 teams. They may have to play each other before the Final Four. That's his prediction.
Yep. And so all of them is what he's saying. All of them are on the same side of the bracket. Now, that's what you're saying right now, Derek. But you got to remember that right there, that's only predicted if the conference championship games doesn't come out right. So if Texas beat Georgia, then we got another mix-up because Texas obviously won't be where Georgia's standing. They'll move over because they'll move up to Oregon. If Penn State knocks off Oregon, they're number 3 seed, so Texas will go back to number 1. So there's a lot of things that can move around here. Now, the team that no one's talking about is the Mountain West, and you've got UNLV, which is probably will win that. They'll come on the bottom of that the bracket. The big question here that no one's really talking about is what is the committee going to do, Val, with 3 teams sitting between 13, 14, and 15, which is on the outside of the top 12. But it's Alabama, there's Ole Miss, and there's I forgot who the other team is. If you had the top 20, I could tell you. But they got 3 losses. And so they're saying, okay, would you rather take a 3-loss Alabama, who is out of the SEC, instead of taking a UNLV, even though UNLV may win the Mountain West? So the committee's got some shakeup. Again, this is why I keep telling everybody that you have got to look at moving college football to a Sweet 16 type of playoff like you got with college basketball. And Coach Justin said, Val, that my Buckeyes got exposed. They did. They didn't really get exposed, Justin, as the kicker had a bad day. He missed 3 field goals. So I don't really think that's being exposed. He makes one of those field goals, the Buckeyes win by 1. So, instead of losing by 2. So that's the crazy part about it. But again, that happens. So I don't think they really got exposed. The thing about it is, it's playoff time now, baby. So you ain't got no more excuses. Just win and go home, period.
Yeah, and I think that with all of that on the line, it'll be up to the players to come around and, number one, support their quarterback and running backs and make sure that they're able to, change and make sure that they're able to score. When I see how the defense works and helps the quarterback the quarterback makes all these wonderful decisions, but the offense has got to protect the running backs so they can go ahead and make those touchdowns. And so
right.
if somebody if the kicker has an off game and they can't make the field goal, then that could make the difference between them winning or not showing up at all in the playoffs.
Exactly. And Ole Miss 626, she said, hey, listen, Coach, they always going to go with Bama. I agree, except for one thing with that statement. That's when Nick Saban used to be there. Nick is not there no more. So they really don't care. Alabama's got a down year. So I don't think the committee even care. I think that if they don't pick, to me, it works in a disadvantage for Alabama. I think that if they don't pick Alabama, it shows that the committee finally was going to stand up and stick their chest out for once. You know what I mean, Val? And they can show that they can go against Bama. And if they're going to do it this year, because Alabama's down this year with 3 losses. And that's where I think you get them out. Again, move to a Sweet 16, and you now have 8 teams on both sides. And how that would work, it'd be a Sweet 16, be 4 rounds. The kids don't get any days off. The first week in December is the Sweet 16. Second week in December is the Elite 8. Right before Christmas, you play the Final 4, and the National Championship game goes back to January 1st like it was when we were kids. Now, the National Championship game is played right before the freaking Super Bowl. So it's like it gets lost, in my opinion.
And I guess you want to kind of see the difference between, because everything that's happening, the kids are playing on the NCAA because eventually, if they are, worth their salt, they want to get to the NFL. I don't want to see the NCAA football champs, that championship game, so close to the Super Bowl, because I'll get confused myself. And then I see the question on the floor. Is that the correct ranking of teams as of today? It might have
Well,
changed.
no,
We just grabbed this.
that's a projected. If you can't, Val, go to ESPN real quick and pull up all you gotta do is pull up the college football top 25 or top 10, whatever, and just post that real quick. And Ole Miss 626 say it's about the money. You are exactly right. It is about the money. But the thing is this: you get an opportunity for a year that the money is already there, right? The best money in the entire college playoff right now is Nike money, and that's Oregon, and that's where the money at. So if you keep Alabama out, Alabama don't get a chance to, kind of convolute that. So you kind of, you move the money to different places, and you got several Nike football programs that's in these playoffs that's coming up without having Bama there. Texas is a Nike program, and so the number 1 and number 2 teams in the nation, those are Nike. Georgia's Nike as well. So you've got big time Nike program, whereas Indiana's Adidas and so forth and so on. So I think that although it's a money game, it's not. And Reed, you're right. If you look at the rankings from today, and as you got the NCAA football rankings today, you still got the Oregon Ducks is still number 1. Texas is still number 2. Again, Penn State moved up to number 3. You got Georgia now has moved up on that money line, as well as Notre Dame. And then because of Tennessee Volunteers, they won. They beat Vandy. They got a chance to slide into that number 7 spot or 6 spot that dropped the Buckeyes down. That's the new standards.
All right, so let me get this up. This is on the ESPN college football rankings. So I'm gonna go ahead and make that a little bit bigger so you can see it. But right now, Oregon is number 1.
Correct.
All right, and let me get over here. And oh boy, obviously. And then Texas is number 2 with 11 and 1. Penn State is number 3. Notre Dame is at number 4. Georgia's at 5.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And then Tennessee's at 6, and the Buckeyes drop down to 7.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you go all the way down to number 12. Who's got the 12th spot right now?
Arizona State is at number 12.
So Arizona State is at number 12, and Bama moved up to what, number 11?
I believe so. Alabama's number 11, and what is that? 9 and 3.
Yeah. And then you got Indiana is right there. So at SMU. So what you have right now is they've already put Alabama in this playoff of 12, and so that's pretty much it. So those top 12 are going to be, that is the ranking. So now they're going to have to figure out where they're going to play based on the conference championship game, which won't happen till this upcoming weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm telling you, everybody go out, take the opportunity, log on to your FanDuel, log on to your MGM. You want to make you want to play these games game by game and put a pregame promotional bet in. And I'm telling you, this is going to be a whirlwind, because you got 3 or 4 teams, as Derek Reed said, that's in these playoffs that nobody's talking about. No one's talking about SMU. No one's talking about Notre Dame. And no one's definitely not talking about Arizona State. They're not talking about them 3 teams because they really haven't done anything. But now Notre Dame and SMU, what do? They kind of snuck back up in the picture, Val. And now they're sitting right where they need to be at. It's going to be very interesting.
Well, thank you so much for letting me know about that. And of course, we all say this. And of course, we got something on the floor here. Derek says SMU will make you rich. Bet. He's betting on that. And Ole Miss, she says, so Ole Miss beat Georgia and South Carolina stupidly. We should have won against the UK and Florida. Do you think making the playoffs have to consider head-to-head win? What are your thoughts, Coach?
Well, I would definitely consider head-to-head wins, and that's what they should think of. But that's not the way the new system works. And I had to explain this to my buddy the other day. The old system worked on the top 4 teams in the country. Didn't matter who they were, how they were, the top 4. And that the new system doesn't work like that. Now the new system works as you take the top 4 conference champs. So it doesn't matter if SMU is ranked 10th in the country right now. If they win their conference championship game next week and they win out in the ACC, which they probably will, they're going to get a top 4 bid. If Arizona State or Iowa State win in the Big 12, that's going to be a big. So you're going to have the top power conferences going to be the SEC, the Big 10, the Big 12, and the ACC, because there's no longer the Pac-12. So I think the answer to that question is after next weekend, we'll see. And like Reed said, if you take SMU for promotional purposes only, you could probably be a rich man, because I think as of today, I think they were like a plus 3,400. So a quick $100 on them is about $4,000 back in your pocket.
Well, these are just predictions, and it's for fun.
For fun. We just having fun. You know how we do. Hey, we at the bottom of the hour. We got to get in this locker room and change up. We'll be right back. Val, let's go pay some more bills. We'll be right back on the Pull Up Podcast Show with your boy, the one and only Coach Tony, and of course, my girl, Val the Voice. Hey, it's your main man, right back at you, coming live here from the Rise Studios, and it's your guy talking about what? Pull Up Podcast Show. What is the Pull Up Podcast Show? It's a brand new podcast hitting your airways nationwide, talking everything on sports, from baseball, basketball, hockey, and then I tell you, we're going to have a lot of fun. So make sure, if you want your questions answered, you want to have fun talking a lot of sports, make sure you pull up on me, because it's the Pull Up Podcast Show.
It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up.
Also, for those that want to learn a little bit more about this right here, oh yeah, that right there, that's the Rise, NIL, talking name, image, and likeness. Those are having opportunities to get paid. You want to tune in to it.
Sports show, let's go. It's the Pull Up Podcast show. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up. Let's go.
Man, I'm loving this. Val back. Now I like that. You guys stay engaged. We're gonna change topics on a quick dime. You know, these women have been balling out of control. The last couple of weekends, we've seen the National Soccer League, and Dennis Rodman's daughter and played for a national championship game. That was phenomenal. They just got a $30 million donation for sponsorship, and women's soccer is blowing through the roof. But I want to talk about one young lady that, you know, I know last year, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese set it on fire coming out of college basketball, and they had the world upside down. But we got a group of young women this year led by this person I'm going to tell you about, Juju Watkins. Let me say that again. Juju Watkins, 6'2", 6'2", point guard out of USC, which is also now belongs to what? Big Ten. The Big Ten. And she is extraordinary. This young lady has already surpassed Caitlin Clark's freshman record last year, over 1,000 points, Val. Now let's talk about that. Some people don't get 1,000 points in a career, Val. We're talking about 4 years. And this young lady dropped 1,000 in one season. One.
Doing great. And she's a junior at USC, right?
She's only a sophomore.
Ooh,
She's only a sophomore. And the crazy part about women,
she's too young to be recruited into the WNBA, right?
Well, you don't get recruited, you get drafted. But yeah, she's too young to be drafted, because the WNBA, which I hated, I think 2 rules need to change. Either one rule is you have college men are now, they have to come to school or go to the G League or go overseas for 1 year, and then they can be one and done. They can go to league. And the women cannot go to the WNBA until they turn 21. So I think 1 or 2 things need to occur. I think that either the men should now have to stay at least 2 years, because football can't go into 3 years as a junior, and the women can't go in basketball until after 3 years, or you need to let the women be able to leave after their sophomore season to jump to the WNBA. And I
Right.
think that becomes fair, and then they can start making money because they're not paying these young women what they're due and they're just due anyway. I'm glad that a lot of NBA guys like Dwayne Wade and Steph Curry and Andre Iguodala and Dwayne Wade and LeBron and all these guys are now putting money into the WNBA. And it's going to be because of the people like you see there. There's 3 major girls, 4 that you're going to look at this basketball season that's going to turn your heads. Besides Juju Watkins, Fuwali down at South Carolina with Don Staley, she is a beast. She's going to do something. Paige Beckers up at UConn is going to be a complete terror. She's coming off of an injury. And Kiki Rice at UCLA. I think those 4 women are going to be the focal point of college basketball. And Kiki Rice just got the best of South Carolina last weekend in a 20-point thrashing. They were ranked number 4. They beat Don Staley. And Don said, hey, I couldn't say nothing. I've been on both sides of the ball. I done stomped people out by 20 or 30 points. And today I got stomped by 20. So you got to take it and you got to keep it pushing. And I'm looking forward, Val, to watching college women basketball this year. I'm excited.
Yeah, and what Derek was saying, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark changed the game. Any other player will build on it for sure. Juju is real. That's according to Derek.
And let me tell you something. Juju is so real. Let me just throw another name in here real quick. And Derek's going to laugh at this one. I'm surprised Pratt didn't say nothing. But you see, this young lady, Val, Juju is about to break Cheryl Miller. And when you start putting Cheryl Miller's name in the same sentence as a ball player at USC, you got to be talking about somebody. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, what? This young lady is about to break some of Cheryl Miller's records at USC. We talking about the GOAT.
Wow. And Omis said, I'm planning on going to watch Caitlin Clark play with my Caitlin.
Yeah. So her daughter's named Caitlin. So she's going to take her to see that. Is so cool. I like that. But if you can, it's a Big Ten game. I'm telling you right now, if you can catch USC, which I'm planning to do, if you can catch USC coming to University of Indiana, check and see if that's a weekend game and we don't have a game. Because Val, her daughter plays on my basketball team, so we ain't gonna be missing no games for that. But if we can catch a game where USC is down to Bloomington, that's only a 4.5 hour drive from here. 3.5, 4 hour drive. I'm gonna try to get tickets and go see Juju come to town, Val, and I'll let you know. I can hopefully try to get a sideline interview.
Oh, that would be good. That'd be good to give a talk with her and stuff like that. She is a power forward or a center?
Neither one, Val. She's 6'2" point guard. Period.
Oh,
Yeah. She got the ball in her hand. This girl is making plays. I think I sent you a video earlier. I don't know if you're able to play it or not. She is the truth. She has got like everything and then some. And let me tell you how important this young lady is. She's not only signed to a juice drink and got an NIL deal, but because Caitlin Clark is now in the WNBA, they chose Juju Watkins to replace Caitlin Clark as the new State Farm with Jake from State Farm in the commercials. That's dope.
oh, so she's gonna replace Jake?
No, she's replacing Caitlin.
Oh, Caitlin. Okay, so she'll be. Oh, it's this breaking news. Oh, and this is the NIL deal. Mm-hmm.
Correct. And she signs a huge NIL deal right there. Signs a tremendous. So now it's going to be, Juju Watkins and Jake from State Farm all season. And if you don't know, State Farm is obviously, if you don't know, they're the largest donor to the NCAA in terms of sponsorship. I didn't know that, so I had to look it up.
Wow, man, that's exciting. And that's exciting for Juju, for many of the other talented women who are making an impact where they're able to get paid with their name, image, and likeness being used in promoting a lot of the national brands and local brands that are around. So congratulations to Juju Watkins for State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. You better call Juju. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait to see some of them crazy commercials that they about to come up with. I mean, it's going to be just really cool because she's a good kid and she's got a heck of a grade point average. So it ain't like you got a kid that just went to school, Val, and is all about basketball. And guess who she trains with, by the way?
I'm someone from the WNBA. Who?
No, she's training with LeBron James trainer, Coach Handy, who just took over the job as one of the new head coaches in the new league that our guest, Coach Diane Vigilone, was on talking about, the Unrivaled League. Coach Handy is now one of the new coaches in the new league, and that's exciting. But he works her out. Has been working her out since she's been in middle school to high school, and man, now she sees the truth.
Wow. And Coach Handy, oh my gosh, we're the same age. I just looked him up.
and the funny part about it is that, Val, it's been so great because what I'm liking what's happening in women's basketball is that, people expected a letdown, right? Right? Because that's the true statement. People expected, okay, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, that was a fluke, whatever it is, women, that's one up. No. Then they graduate and they left, and we come right back, we give you another banger. It's like going to a old school hip hop concert, right? And then you got like LL Cool J step out on stage back in the day, and then all of a sudden you think, oh man, nobody can do that. And then here come DMC. Then you got Ron DMC step out on stage, like, oh snap. And then Public Enemy walks out. So that means just hit after hit after hit. And I think that the women's basketball is not only here to stay, but you're about to see it grow. And again, Val, when you're seeing the WNBA is now trying to figure out, and the women has already told them they're going to walk out of their CBA contracts this year. And now you got a new league like Unrivaled that's coming. They're going to kind of be like what Live Golf did to the PGA. I don't know if you really know about that story, but the PGA is where all the golfers play golf, Val. And then Live Golf stepped in, LIV Golf, stepped in and started paying these guys ridiculous amount of money for the exact same tournament. And people jumped over and went to Live, and that's, enough said. That's what's going to happen. The same thing with women's basketball.
Well, good luck. Like I said, this is going to be exciting to see that. And of course, we see Ole Miss said that that's amazing for all women getting sponsorships. And then Derek's joking around saying, like a good neighbor, Juju is there and we're paying top tier.
Like a good neighbor, Juju is there. Hey, Derek, you may want to patent that, Derek, and send it in to Jake real quick for somebody sending it up the ladder, man. They get that.
Oh my gosh. I'm telling you. Well, I'd say we should go ahead and wrap up our third quarter because I need to talk about the team that's on my shirt right now. I know you don't want to, but we got to talk about it because I was enjoying my turkey and then I stopped enjoying it because of what happened on Thanksgiving. Are you ready to do this?
Well, I think they still trying to call a timeout. Boom.
We'll be back. We'll be right back. Oh, my goodness. Oh, yeah. Let's do this one.
Take some bills, bro.
So we're kicking off a whole brand new season. I know you guys have missed us, but we are back. And of course, it's always exciting and wonderful to have a very talented individual who has started a wonderful tech company. And then, of course, he is the host of Tech Thursdays on a platform called The House of Creativity. And he has just finished his book, Where? Jamalane Wise. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. Val the Voice Johnson. I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me.
One thing I forgot to mention is that also about, I want to say October, November of last year, Wise stepped into the podcasting game, initially starting on Instagram and then started his platform, Wise Going Live. I was recently on the platform, but I think I've been there 4 times. It has been extremely gratifying to see how far you've come as a host, a podcaster, and also a moderator, sir. So I just wanted to say kudos.
Thank you. Thank you very much. When you're around great talent like yourself, Val, the voice, it only does it inspires you to go forth. And we have amazing community of people that inspire us to actually, keep accountable. You keep me accountable. I keep you accountable. We all keep each other accountable, and we try to do the great thing to move forward.
What is going on? I got to do the opening. I didn't do that. Just like from that movie, I'm going to Get You, Sucker. Everybody needs a theme song.
And you got that right.
Everybody needs a theme song. Let's not get it twisted.
The fourth quarter. Welcome back to the Pull Up Podcast Show with your boy, the one and only Coach Tony, and of course my sidekick, my roadie, Val the Voice Johnson. Make sure you like the show, share it with your friends. More importantly, subscribe, and make sure you continue the show going. And Val, I love the statement that you and my boy Wise was talking about. Every hero needs a theme song, and I asked my boy D Reed. We talk all the time, and I know the theme song is the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. The show. We just laugh.
Thanks, Derek. He paid a nice compliment. You are the voice. Awesome. Keep up the great work. We appreciate that, Derek.
Love you. So I'm about to do one thing right here. Hold on 1 second.
We need to talk about some things.
I don't want to even put this on.
This ready.
Oh. I think Coach is still waiting to call a timeout, ain't he? That's the craziest thing I've ever seen. And Val, 3 weeks in a row, 3 weekends in a row, did the same thing up in Green Bay, 3 weekends in a row, the Minnesota game and the Detroit game. You're talking about your top three foes. We all had 3 close games, 3 times you're able to win it. And then in Detroit, I think what happened, Val, just between me and you, I think Pookie and him was cooking them turkey legs outside. And they told him that if y'all drop this game, Coach, I'm going to hook you up on the way back down 94 to get to 94 to 80 to get back around the lake. I'm going to hook you up with one of them Detroit turkeys if you drop this game. And I think he was smelling that turkey and he was saying, I could win this game, but that's a long trip home with no food. Or I could act like I'm going to win and I can get one of them turkey legs from Pookie to come outside. That's my thought.
This is the third or fourth game that I had seen where the Bears had come back from a deficit. They were at 0 at the halftime. I'm watching this fully engaged, and I'm going, there is a chance they could tie this game and win. And I kept looking. Yep. I'm like, is there a timeout? Did he use up all his timeouts? And then of course I'm there with my
25
friend
seconds on the clock. It's 25 seconds on the clock. You got a timeout, and you only need 4 yards to kick a field goal. He could have ran it, but he ran 18 seconds off the clock before he even hiked the ball. For one, that's a rookie mistake. And 2, that's why I keep telling you Bears fan, why the hell we go get Caleb Williams? He could have sat on the bench behind my boy Justin Fields. At least if we got Fields, he going to give me 60, 70, 80 yards in the game, Val.
If you're making moves like not calling proper timeouts, you're not using your defensive lineman right. I'm not understanding this. And of course, when you have this gentleman, I mean, was it an hour after the game? They just said, you're out of here. And they said, this is the first time ever.
It was the next day. The crazy part about it was the coach was already planning the next day of practice. And he was like, we just got to go back and get back to work. No, son. Look, you need to come on down to the house hall, clean your stuff out. You about to be rolling out. Hey, listen, as in my famous poet said in Harlem Nights, don't take this ass whooping personally.
So Warren, this is he's the GC or the owner.
Yeah, he's not the owner. McCaskey's still on the team. He's just the general manager. Who owns, he's over everybody.
Right. So I kind of feel like this is a bad reflection upon upper management. And so this doesn't feel good to me and for us that are fans that, you know, we're wearing our shirts, we're doing stuff crazy. Like if we wear something backwards,
like taking a trip to Phoenix, Arizona to see them freaking play the Cardinals and they got smoked. They ain't even come out of the locker room. 42,000 Bears fan in Cardinals Stadium, Val. We talked about it a few weeks ago. I sent the pictures to you, right?
You did.
They came out the tunnel and the loud boo was so loud you thought we were in Soldier Field. So here's my question, everybody. I need for you. I don't want to know who's going to make the playoffs because I already know that we got 4 hot teams. 2 on the AFC is Buffalo and Kansas City with Baltimore underneath, and 2 on the NFC with the Detroit Lions and possibly the Green Bay Packers with the Vikings underneath. So my question to you tonight, we'll get out here and read. I want to hear from you. You know, Pratt, you kind of quiet. I definitely want to hear from Ole Miss. I need to know who's playing in the NFL Super Bowl game and who is your Super Bowl winner. And then I'll let you know what I'm thinking.
Oh, well, Detroit's looking real good because of the beat that we had. They're now 11-1.
11-1, exactly.
I believe they'll be going to the playoffs.
Oh yeah, they didn't clinch. So we're talking about Super Bowl now.
Yeah. So I'm trying to see who else has a really good record. Who else is looking good on the NFL?
And you got a couple things. There was a huge game last night. I love these type of. I should love it. And when we were kids playing out in the park on the south side, Chicago, in the park, you tackle a dude and you throw snow all in his face. You know, the Buffalo Bills beat up on my nephew, beat up on San Fran last night. Coach Justin says he got the Ravens and the Eagles. I like them Eagles. I love them Eagles, but I think that depends on what goes on, it's going to be very difficult. And Pratt got in the Super Bowl. He got Detroit versus Baltimore, with Detroit winning by 10. There you go, Pratt. Put it on your shoulders, boy. That's some East St. Louis boys down there, Val. They gonna always they ride East St. And Justin thinks that the Ravens are gonna win it all. So I like both of them. I really do. I just don't think that the comeback kid is gonna let that happen on the AFC side of the house. For whatever reason, KC just continue to find a way to win weekend in and weekend out. I think the question is, who can be that NFC team that can dethrone them? Now, Ole Miss 626, she said, I can't even watch the Ravens. She said, I hate it because Henry's over there. And you know what he's doing, baby? He killing. He got 1,600 yards, 16 and averaging 92 yards a game. Second in the league behind who? Saquon Barkley of the Eagles.
Wow.
And why? Because the freaking Tennessee Titans act like the Chicago Bears. I think they must know each other.
Probably bad coaching over there too. Oh
Man,
no.
I don't know what they got Callahan down here in Tennessee. They ain't fired him yet, so I don't know what they blaming it on everybody else. In the meanwhile, your boy Derrick Henry about to push out away from the Titans and possibly make a Super Bowl run. And if he rolls like Coach Justin said, he about to go get a ring.
Well, Johnny says Kansas City cannot beat Detroit. Really?
Man,
Okay.
please. He only said that because he's from the D. I respect that because I'm from the South.
All
So
right.
I remember the Bears and the Bulls were doing the thing. I like that. But Pratt, take your personal feelings up out this, y'all. You got to remember that Super Bowl game, we ain't going. We're going to L.A. We're going on the West Coast, right? We're going out there with Dub C and Snoop Dogg. Them going to be at. No, I'm sorry. It's in New Orleans. My bad. I apologize. It's going to be in the Dome. So here's what you get. You might be close to being right because them boys have played in the Dome all year, and KC used to that cold weather outside, and it's going to be a Dome game. That Super Bowl is going to be in the Dome, Val, down in New Orleans. Matter of fact, Val, man, you talked about going to that, remember?
Yeah, I know. I mean, it would be phenomenal to be able to get to, I want to say the what do you call it, to the
Super
Super
Bowl.
Bowl, to see that in person. That would be phenomenal to be able to see that. But yeah,
Now,
I guess
Justin,
next year.
since you talked about the Ravens are going to win, Justin, and Pratt talks about Detroit. So let me ask a question then. Who is the MVP in the NFL this year? The overall MVP. Who do you think the overall MVP is? And I'm gonna tell you my opinion. It's got to be Saquon Barkley from the Philadelphia Eagles. I think the boy's done so much. He's like a plus 450 right now, which I got to put something on him. But I put him down the other day for for promotional purposes only. But I don't think nobody should be able to take that from Saquon Barkley. He's a running back. He's broken all the records. He's transferred to a new team from New York over to Philly, and he leads all running backs. He's doing incredible stuff. And the boys got highlights on ESPN every weekend, Val. And I'm thinking of MVP of the NFL this year has got to be Saquon Barkley. Put your chips on that.
All right. Okay. Well, and he's with what team again?
He's Saquon with the Philadelphia Eagles. And Ole Miss 626 said, did y'all hear? Not even Jeffrey Simmons made it to the Pro Bowl. Exactly. But you got to know something, girl. The Pro Bowl is like the NBA All-Star game. It's junk. They don't even want to do it no more. They done moved the Pro Bowl from Hawaii to Orlando. That's to let you know. It's junk. It's I don't know what they're gonna do with that. But tell me, I need to know, who is your Super Bowl two teams? AFC, NFC, and overall champs. So far, we got Baltimore with Coach Justin, and Pratt's got the Detroit Lions. And I actually like what Pratt talking about, because that coach is crazy up in Detroit. And he kind of reminds me of Mike Dicker. I'm serious, Val. He reminds me of Mike Dick. He wears his personal feelings on his shoulder. He cusses the players out. He dogs them out on defense. He tell them who ain't playing and who is playing. He gets to their face. He's old school Mike Dicker in a new school where these kids don't want to be talked to like that. I like it.
Oh, okay.
There goes Saquon right there.
All right. Well, I don't know. I don't know who to pick. I'm thinking about
it. You know
it.
One thing, Val, it ain't gonna be the Bears.
This is what breaks my heart. You're breaking my heart. And I thought about that with Matt too. Like Coach Matt does it. Anyway, but who's taking over in his absence now that they got rid of him?
So they promoted the offensive coordinator. So here's the funny part about it. The freaking offensive coordinator was promoted, Val, to be the interim offensive coordinator. And now he moved from the interim offensive coordinator, which they didn't know they were going to hire him. And now he moves to the interim head coach of the Bears. It's 5 games to go in the season. And whether you win, the best thing he can do is this. We got the freaking Green Bay Packers, boo, at home, last game of the year, Soldier Field in January. Is going to be snowing. There's going to be snow. It's going to be in the teens, in the 30s. That won't matter because Green Bay loves that type of game. That's going to be one of the best games to watch all year. We still got Detroit coming to Chicago because we just lost to them in the Dome. That's going to be a January game or late December. It's going to probably be cold and snow. And then we got Minnesota. So you now got Minnesota and Detroit, both Dome teams, coming to play back outside. And you got Green Bay. So the Bears could be spoil sport right now, Pratt. The Bears could be a spoil sport to what Detroit's trying to accomplish.
I think with a winning record like the Detroit Lions have right now, which is 11-1, that's what they're up to now. Right. I'm definitely predicting that they're going to be in the playoffs. Now, who's going to stop them from going all the way? It could be a couple of folks. Now, I think Kansas City was another a prediction out here, and then I just feel like the Ravens is also another prediction. Is Justin Allen said the Ravens are going to win it all, but it's just tough to figure this out. And Johnny is he's got his prediction saying that, you know, Detroit versus Baltimore, with Detroit winning by 10. Like he's seen it all.
That.
This is
I
all
love that.
promotional
Yeah, he's like,
purposes.
it's because he's like, okay, Coach, just I'm gonna give you your Raven, but y'all got to play Detroit, and the Lions gonna pimp y'all by 10. You can get them in the Super Bowl, but we still gonna win by 10. I love it. And the MVP, but he did you a favor, Coach Justin. He at least gave you your boy Lamar Jackson from the Ravens. He said that Lamar Jackson is gonna be MVP, so he did give you that. He said, even though we're gonna pimp y'all by 10, I'm at least gonna let Lamar Jackson win the MVP. That's gracious. That's gracious, Pratt. That's pretty gracious, man.
Well, he's looking good. So there you go. So like I said, there's a whole bunch of predictions, but we always want to say, as always, for promotional purposes only, please do not.
The one thing that I can tell you, for promotional purpose, these next 5 games, bet against this team right here. If you bet against this team, then you may end up paying a mortgage bill or a car note.
We most definitely don't want that happening, do we? Most definitely don't. And of course,
I would love to pay a car note or a house note, bail on these boys. I'm like, hey, I ain't saying, I'm just saying, you know.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, this is really exciting. So of course, guys, keep tuned in, because we'll be letting you guys know our predictions. Well, Coach will be letting you know his predictions. And of course, we're going to be keeping you guys informed about who to look out for. We usually do basketball, but of course, Coach watches all the teams.
Hey, Val, that's why I was one of them nice point guards on the court, because I could switch up and come down lane like magic, look like I'm gonna drop it left and do like this and drop it over the shoulders. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to switch up sometimes. So that's real good. I love the people. I love you guys tuning in. I appreciate you guys coming back in on the Pull Up Podcast show. Continue. Now, to let you guys know, the big news that came out today.
Where you going? Where you going?
I want to let it know. I'm out there. Val won't let me do it.
I need you to calm down, because I Coach is very, very excited. So I know where he's going. I need you to talk about Rise. So let's do this in order. Okay, let's make sure that we do this first.
We're gonna jump. Right. I'm always wonderful to talk about my people. So as we always talk about the landscape of the NIL, we talk about the opportunity for your young athlete, whether it's your daughter, whether it's your son, nephew, niece, kinfolks, relatives, somebody you know at church or whomever that's having the opportunity to play at the next level. You always want to be very cognizant of what's going on at the college level with money. In the NIL, with the name, image, and likeness, they are now having an opportunity for these kids to make a great living while they're in college, to help take care of finances, bills, food, or whatever that is. If you want to understand how the landscape works, you want to understand how you can get involved, and you want an opportunity to see if your kid can qualify, then make sure you tune in and reach out to me on therisenil.com, and we can talk about that. That's how we can show you how to get paid from these college campuses, these sports programs, while you are a college athlete.
That's what I'm talking about. And of course, for myself, you guys, a DJ saved my life. It is the ebook that's available. And of course, you guys can go ahead and scan the QR code. It's what directly supports both podcasts, the Pull Up Podcast show, as well as Interlude Section Presents Talk on Tuesday. It's part memoir and part, if you'd like to start your own podcast, please go ahead and get the ABCs of podcasting and how being a virtual DJ during the pandemic saved my life. It's at purelighthouse.media.com. Now, as we take a breather, coming up in 2 weeks, what's happening?
Hey, this has been coming and coming and coming. We have now got the legend from the New York Knicks, the Chicago Bulls, part of Michael Jordan's Last Dance video. I got none other than the man himself, Mr. Bill Cartwright, coming on to talk about that. I landed Bill Cartwright. That's like, Val, that's like getting ready to take a trip to London or Paris, and you bought a ticket to sit and coach, and they come on the plane and say, Miss Johnson, we found out that you were with Coach Tony, a member of the Pull Up Podcast Show. We want to upgrade you to business class. Right? So I am looking forward to Big Bill, baby, coming on the show to talk a little bit about some things. And I'm excited to get him and just to drop the nuggets. Coach Justin, I know you out there. Your pops are going to love that. He was a big Knicks guy, big Bill Cartwright guy. So we're going to promote this show over the next couple of weeks. Please make sure on December the 16th, you tune in to what? The Pull Up Podcast Show. You help me promote this. I'm going to push it out. I'll be sending all you guys some information. Come back. We want to make sure that you guys do your homework, ask questions. My boy Wise, the Wise Media Choice in the house. You know, we want to make sure we make sure that Coach Bill Cartwright feels comfortable. He feels at home. And we want to make sure he knows that anytime he wants to come back. And I'll give you guys a little hint real quick. He went back home to California. He's the athletic director and director of operations up in San Fran at University of San Francisco. Now, next week, for you guys that talking about women in sports, my girl, big-time WNBA girl, Miss Rusha Brown, will be in the house talking to me. So I'm excited. I mean, these next few weeks on the Pull Up Podcast Show is straight fire, as the Wise once said of. Give me a set of, so I can say that.
Oh my gosh! I thought he was just going to run right to the big reveal, and I'm like, wait!
Hey,
that's what producers do.
Hey, you know, when we get excited, that's why I got to have you by my side, because you always ride. You know those motorcycles with the little riding up here, but you got the cargo down there. You ride in the cargo back there like this.
That's definitely how that's going to be. But of course, join us both tomorrow, or things will be a little bit different for Interludes Extra Presents Talk on Tuesdays. We'll see you guys on tomorrow. And of course,
hey, thank you again for tuning in to the Pull Up Podcast Show, and your boy, the one and only Coach Tony. Thank you, and keep subscribing, keep pushing the show out. And again, keep supporting my girl right here, Val the Voice. You know my words. Peace.
It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up. Bounce the voice and Coach Tony, you know. It's the Pull Up Podcast. So I said bounce the voice and Coach Tony, you know. It's the Pull Up Podcast. So it's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the